Hello, everyone. If you can hear me, just make a comment. I love my followers. Oh, you guys are the best. Right on time, 10 a.m., 10:01, 10:01. Thank you guys for coming early. Thank you so much. If you can hear me, just drop a comment that you can hear me. I think I should change my background. This background is looking weird. Blur. Okay, let's use the blur one. Good. Hello, guys. Oh, yeah, we can hear. Yes, lovely, lovely, lovely. Good morning, everybody. And today we are talking about self sponsor. Just before I dive right into it, like I said, in 2020 stroke 2021, I went through the self sponsor route. So myself, I've been through the process, and I think I'm one of the best persons to, explore this with you. And as at the time where when I did my self sponsoring, it wasn't as common as this. Like, we were not having issues with red list countries, and issues of no employment. It was just that employment for midwives was taking a long time, and I had people in the UK that were willing to sponsor me, and that was why I went on with it. So before I start, oh, I think I lost my video. Okay, we are back. Sorry, guys. So I've had lots. I've written down some questions here that have been asked, and also that I think would benefit us when we start to discuss about this. And then, if you have any question, I can see the comment section, and I'm more than happy to answer the questions. We aim for this section to be 1 hour, or at least at most 1 hour 30 minutes, so we don't bore the people that are coming to watch back. So if you are here and you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe to the YouTube channel now. Share to your friends and family. For the people who are interested, waiting to see, let me even also share to people outside also. Okay, not to the screen, I don't know. So let me also share to people before we start the conversation, so that we oh, let me also share to people before we start sorry the conversation, so that we oh, let me okay, I'm copying the link and also sharing to people so that people can benefit from it. We're live, yeah. So, as simple as this sounds, you might just find out that some people don't even know what this self sponsor route is all about. So, the first question I have here is, what is this self sponsor route? Welcome, Kiesola. Welcome, Joanne. Welcome, Victoria. Welcome, Charity. Welcome, Lizzie. We are so happy to see you here. So, what is this? What is this self sponsor route? So, we all know that migrating to the UK as a skilled worker visa or on a skilled worker visa takes a little bit of process. One of the process is to register with NMC UK. Once you register with NMC UK, you do verification with your home country, whether you're from Ghana, whether you're from Nigeria, whether you're from Zimbabwe, whether you're from Jamaica, anywhere you are, you do a verification from your home country. Once you do a verification from your home country, they give you a go ahead to write your CBT and your OSCE through an email that is called authorization to test. So, for some people, they do their IELTS first, which is the English language testing exams, which can be the English language exam, which can be the IELTS or the OET, depending on what you prefer. So some people might do it first because in the days when we were writing our CBT or when we were writing our exam, the IELTS was the hardest to pass. I'll say that to you because people wrote IELTS 10 times, 8 times, 6 times. It's now that people are writing 1 time, 2 time, and they are passing because there are a lot of information to people on YouTube, everywhere, and people can learn more about the structure of the exam, causing them to pass more. So let me put it out to you that there are some countries that do not require you to even write IELTS at all. Some people, they just write their CBT and they they look for either jobs or come to the UK to write their OSCE. Those are the countries that are seen as certified as English speaking countries. So if you're in Nigeria and Ghana, you are not part of them. So focus on writing your English exams. There are also some exemption that NMC UK has put up, that maybe if you're already working in the UK for more than 12 months in an English speaking, if you're working in an English speaking country, your boss can certify that you can communicate in English. And also, there's one also evaluation form that they use for that. I've not seen anyone that's made success with that. So I would advise you not to waste your time on that one. So it's either you do the English language test exam or you have someone that can verify that you have, you've worked in an English speaking country for 12 months. So moving on that, we were talking that you will get your authorization to test for your for your CBT and your OSCE. Once you get the one for your CBT, you write your CBT, you pass. The one we leave to the last is the OSCE exam. Why do we leave this to the last? It's because it is expensive. It is because it requires practice. It is because you have to come to the UK to write it. So what people do is that with the English language exam and your CBT test, you start to look for job on track job websites, on other websites, and you try to get a job as a either internationally trained midwife or a preceptorship midwife, just a band 5 job, or that when they bring you into the country, they train you for your OSCE and they support you to pass your OSCE and you start working as a midwife. So with the advent of this red list country, the number of people also trying to migrate has tripled, because before, not midwives would not even think of migrating. All they think of is doing their nursing, doing their exams just to catch up. So with that, there were less people applying for midwifery jobs. But now a lot of people, so people were even scared because of litigation. They don't want to apply to midwifery jobs. But now everyone wants to be a midwife, especially if you're passionate about midwifery. So that's what is making the job offer tight. It's not just this applying by yourself that we're doing. This is what midwives have been doing from day one. We didn't have the opportunity to start getting sponsors, especially from all these red list countries. We didn't have the opportunity to get agents to, help us, just as the way nurses used to do in the time past. In 2019, 2020, there were lots of agents that were recruiting nurses just even before you pass your CBT. They'll just say, start your NMC registration. They'll put you through and they help you to do your exam. So with the advent of red list country, it's been so difficult for people to migrate to the UK. So that's where this self-sponsor route comes in. It is something that has always been open, anyways, that you can do if you have the resources, if you have the strength, if you have the ability. You need to believe in yourself to be able to do that, because most of the things you're going to be doing it for yourself. That brings me to the second question. I'm still answering the first, but I'm going to be talking about the second question. Is it a better alternative? Let's discuss. If you are on the live chat, just please drop your message and let's discuss. Do you think this is a better alternative? While I'm waiting for people to start to While I'm waiting for people to start to, put in their comments, I'm going to read this. Lizzie says, "Hi, show me. I'm a registered nurse midwife from Gambia. I studied nursing for 3 years, diploma. Then, after working a few years, I went back to specialize in midwifery for 18 months." Okay. I have both qualification as a nurse and a midwife. My question is, can I work in the UK with my 18 months certificate? Of course you can. Of course you can. So far, you can get a license from your country that you are a registered midwife. You can definitely apply to the NMC UK that you are a midwife. But the only mistake you shouldn't make is when you're doing your NMC registration, you put in your registration as a registered midwife. Don't go as a registered nurse if you want to practice as a registered midwife quickly, because if you put in as a registered nurse your NMC registration, you would have to continue your process as a registered nurse. At the end of the day, if you are working in the UK, you can now transfer, add your qualification, then do your OSCE as a registered midwife. That's the long route. But if you want to practice as a registered midwife quickly, you need to start your registration as a registered midwife. I've seen people, this question used to come out a lot of times in the back in the days, and people used to say, think if you do 18 months you can register, but you can register. So far, you can put in, you have a license and backing from your home country that you're a registered midwife with your 18 months qualification. So I was saying that, do you people think the self-sponsor route is a better alternative? Do you people think so? No one is answering me. Am I on this life by myself? We have 5 people. What are we saying? Okay, I'll just go on with that while I'm waiting for people to start to type in their comments. So for me, I'm not going to say one is better than the other. I'm not going to say it's a better alternative. You have to look at your situation. What is happening? What's happening around you? Do you have money? Do you have funds? Do you have support? Why would this be a better alternative? So I feel that there is no one that is better than the other, because at the end of the day, the end goal is to work in the UK and to help you, to move you out of the situation you are in your country. And also, all these exams that we do, your IELTS lasts for 2 years, your NMC registration, if you don't complete it by 2 years, they might ask you to start over again. Your CBT results last for 2 years. And so when you're looking at the time frame that you need to, meet up with the passes of all these exams, you might want to consider the self-sponsor route as a faster and a surer way. The reason why I say it's a surer way is because if you do your OSCE and you pass your OSCE and you get your PIN, you are 99% guaranteed that you will get a job of your choice in the location of your choice, and you're more flexible. It gives you that upper hand. You're more flexible. For example, if I came to do my OSCE and I passed my OSCE, I think when I wanted to do my exam, I was always pointing towards this place because number one, it's closer to London where I have my family members. And number two, I had a friend that was already working here and she was saying nice things about this place. So I wanted to work here. So it gives you that opportunity. If you want to go to low cost area, you might want to tilt towards, checking low cost area. I have a video that is coming up soon with Nosdi where we talked about changing her visa route. So for her, it was easy for her to pick the hospital she wanted to work with just because she had passed her OSCE. So someone is saying, okay, I says, I'm done with my CBT and IELTS. So my question is, which OSCE center is the best? My love, it is wherever you get your registration, because now it is very, very difficult to even get a date because a lot of people are resitting their OSCE exams. I know Oxford is always filled up. It's not easy to get an examination. It's not easy to get an examination date in OSCE, but we have five centers now. We have the Notre South Northampton, we have the Northern Ireland, I think. We have oh, there's this one that is far away. I'll bring it up again. I think I wrote it down somewhere. But we have five OSCE centers now. So you can just check around and see which one is going to ask the dates to your preferred, where you want to plan. Because when you want to do your self-sponsor route, you need to start planning ahead. Okay. Someone said it is the finance. I think it is if the finance is there. Okay, you think it's better if the finance is there. Okay. Kiesola said the self-sponsor pathway is better once you pass your OSCE and get the PIN. Job offers are all 100%. I agree with you. I agree with you. Yes, I do agree with you. And Lizzie says self-sponsor route is shorter. It increases your chances of getting a job. Yeah. Oh, I love these people. These people are following me up. Yes, we have the Northumbria, we have Leeds, we have Ulster, we have Northampton, and we have Oxford. Thank you so much for contribution. Your contribution, it's gingering me. So, like we said, it's a faster and a more precise. You know what you are getting. People can stay in Nigeria for years without getting a job, depending on how you are going around your preparation for jobs. Some people are lucky to get jobs immediately they start their CBT. And what I will advise you is that before you strongly start to consider doing your self-sponsor route, I will advise you to get someone to check your supporting statement with you, because sometimes it's not just that these people are not recruiting, it's that your supporting statement is not strong enough to shortlist you. I have someone, her name is Khadijat Adeshola. She does review she does review for people, paid review actually, for people that are trying to review their supporting information. So it will be good for you to maybe I'll drop a link somewhere in the comment section once we are done with this slide, so that you can always go to her, pay your money, and then she might help you review your supporting statements, because sometimes you sell yourself short in the supporting statement, and your supporting statement is not even bringing you up to the top of you know the table, because these jobs are getting very, very competitive. You're not competing with you're not even competing with just people from your country, you're competing with people from worldwide. A lot of people are coming to the UK just to start working. So it leads me to this: is it an easier route? I would say there's no easy route. Uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. If you want to, in my language, Yoruba will say, "Ẹni tó bá máa jẹ oyin inú àpáta kò ní wọ ẹnu àáké." That is, if you want to reach a goal, you will not look at the challenges that are on your way, or that are coming in between. Do you understand? It's not an easier route, but it's a route that is certain. Do you understand? Because now, once you let's say, once you want to start your self-sponsor process, I think I have a video also that lists the whole process, what you need to do from where you need to do. So once you start to do your self-sponsor route, you need to pay for your OSCE first. For you to pay for your OSCE, because you need that OSCE receipt and everything to back up your application. I would also advise that people should pass their CBT and their IET, IELTS, before even considering the self-sponsor route, because all those things you have to put together to support your visa application. And for you to even do that, that doesn't guarantee that you will get your visa approved. So can you see, it's not even an easier route. There are lots of challenges that you might face, but if you brace up, if you do the right things, for example, get the right counsel, get the right advice, get the right professionals to help you through, then you would be able to scale through. You'll be able to scale through. So I say, so what's other question? Okay, I have a question here. Do you advise one to do OSCE training before the examination? I won't lie to you, you would need a form of training. It might not be officially, it might not be training, but you need practice. Do you understand? I advise that people who are trying to self-sponsor can bring themselves together and start to practice. I know there's a practice of skill group that we have on Telegram. I don't even know who opened the group, but I'm on that group. And when people ask me, I think that's the link I always share. But I also have people that help out with OSCE training. So if you need any help with OSCE training, you can come to my DM. I think you should come to my Instagram account at Not Show Me. I'm more than happy to answer you or refer you to people that I know that do this OSCE trainings. Also, okay, the question I have here is, would I be refunded the money spent on my self-sponsor? My dear, if you are on this live video, just open your eyes and open your ear, because that's the mistake I made. I wasn't refunded, but there are other people that are refunded. So make sure that once you finish, tell the people that you self-sponsored yourself. So now you're not just talking, because sorry, during the visa, during the visa, during the interview, I asked them if they were going to refund me, and the people conducting the interview said yes, but it wasn't stated on my contract. So if once you get the contract, you ask them, is this going to be refunded? If it is not written on your contract, please don't sleep on it. You can look for job in another place, because there are other places that will refund you your money. Sorry. Some people will refund you your OSCE, some people will even refund you your CBT, some people will refund you stuffs. So just make sure. But if it's the place where you are bent on working and you really want to work there, then if you really want to work there, then you might just, overlook it if it doesn't matter to you. But surely I have people that get their stuffs refunded. So please don't sleep on that. Okay. Okay, I've said that. Can my visa be denied? Like I said, yes, your visa can be denied. And that's why I advise people to go with professionals to help them with their visa application, because now you have to use the visitor's visa, and it is the same scrutiny that they would use for a normal visitor's visa that they will use for you. So make sure you don't you put all your eggs in one basket, because when all your eggs are in one basket, you carry it with care. Do you understand? So instead of having to apply once or twice or three times, just make sure you close your eye and spend that money on the first application. Let someone put you through, let someone hold your hands. I recommend an official to do it for you. So any trusted official from your place, from where you stay, someone that you know that is notable, that can help you out, should be able to support you, because they will be the one that will put you through on what you need. Like me, when I started, I didn't know I was going to need employer reference, and then it was the visa official that said I would need, or the visa advisor, yeah, advisor was one that said I would need an employer reference, and also for the funding part, because when I did my funding, I didn't use money. Like, I didn't have money in my account. This was because I had a sponsor that is working in the UK. So I needed the documents of the person that was already working here. I needed a address, something to confirm her address, which was a council tax. She gave me a passport data page. She gave me a pay slip, all those things that validated that she's earning a lot. And then I just submitted my own. I just submitted my own bank statement with about 100,000 naira, which is nothing. And so, which is nothing. And afterwards, that's all I did. Someone said NJTOS isn't responding to chats. Do you have any other visa advisor? Unfortunately, I do not. I do not have any other one. I'm so sorry about that. I don't have anyone to recommend. I don't know why she's not responding to chats. Maybe there's a lot of things she's dealing with at the moment, because I know a lot of people have been on her neck for a while now. So I don't know if there's anyone that I can refer you to. Someone says, yes, this is a route that for sure you get a job after you're done, but then you have to prepare for the to be prepared for the process. Yes, you have to be prepared. So I'm just also taking out the questions that I have written here, and we've discussed. Okay. So someone said, how many months did you stay back when you came to the UK, and do you need to come back to your home country? Yes, you need to come back to your home country after your application, after you've passed your OSCE. But what I would advise you to do is get an interview, get a job before you go back to your home country. So you seal it before you leave. Do you understand? Because it's easier. You would have a UK number, you're able to call out, you're able to go to hospitals physically. So why not take advantage of that rather than just passing your OSCE and going back to your own country without having a grasp of what you really want. And what I'll tell people is, once you are in the UK, don't just depend on your application. Call to follow through with your application. That is going to help you 100%. Just call to follow through, because that's helped my application, and it also has helped people that I know about that. So whatever makes you to be in the UK, call to follow through your application and let them know you're available for physical interviews. That way they are more than happy to help you. Do you understand? So once, because what I did was, once I got the job offer and I started talking to, oh, I started talking to the HR, I started discussing visa processing. I knew that they didn't even know much about my visa type, but I knew that I couldn't extend my visa type in the UK. So I told them I can't extend my visa type in the UK. I would have to go to the country, to my own country, and start the processing again. And they agreed, and I flew. It was even when we started talking, it was almost immediately when we started talking, and they said, "Oh, you would need to go to your home country." I was like, I'm okay. I booked my flights for the next, was it the next day or the 2 days after? I flew to Nigeria, started my processing. So it was that, it was that fast. Someone says, good morning. I would like to know how many job offers you applied before getting a job offer. So now, before I before I moved to the UK, I had already started applying. But as soon as I stepped into the UK, I was focused on I was focused on trying to I was focused on trying to get my to pass my OSCE. So I stopped applying. And once I passed my OSCE, I was also waiting for my PIN. So it was just I can't even remember, but it was the first hospital I called that I told them that I've passed my OSCE. I can see that you people are having another vacancy. I've applied before. That means you guys need a midwife. So they're like, oh, they're so sorry they missed my application. Could they get my email? So they got my email. They got my email and called me for an interview that same month. So once I got the interview date, I went there, and that same day they told me I got the job. So once I got the job, they moved me through to the HR, and we started discussing about this certificate of sponsorship. So Sola says, do you mean follow through application? Or what do you mean? Do you mean, what do I mean by follow through your application? Yeah, I mean you should follow up your application wherever you're applying to. So if you apply to a job, call them, send an email just to be sure that your application is going, like, for them to know that you're in the country, you're happy to have a physical interview. Because if you're in the country, then you have edge. Do you understand? They won't be struggling about, oh, they will just give you a try. Okay, don't worry, just come for an interview. The interviews are not too hard to set up, so they can always just set up an interview for you, regardless of you know whether they want to start doing virtual interviews or all of that. Because you can actually walk into the hospital and say, oh, can I see the matron? I would like to, all those things that I would like to discuss. I'm a registered midwife. I've come to the UK to do my OSCE. I've passed my OSCE, waiting for my PIN. I want to know if you can grant me an interview. So all those things can help you with securing your job faster. So I'm sure I didn't apply to a lot of jobs before I get, oh, because I only remember that I called them after I passed, I got my PIN, and they set me in for an interview. Was it? No, no. It was even I called them immediately I passed my OSCE when I saw their job application because I knew I'd already applied to this job before. So I called them, and when they sent me a date for the interview, my PIN came a day before the interview. So that way I was able to, just quickly do everything, and that was all. So someone said, do you need to pass your IELTS or CBT before your OSCE? I just think if you're going for your self-sponsor route, you don't want to have too many things clogged in your head. Because now, if you pass your OSCE and then you're applying for jobs and you do not have your IELTS or your CBTs to show for it, it's just going to stress you out. So why not pass that? Pass your pass your CBT, pass your English language exam, and try to even start applying. Because what happens is that sometimes I know some people that are already considering the self-sponsor route. They're already putting up things together, trying to tie all ends, and at the end of the day, they get offers from hospitals. So it's a win-win whichever way. So I would advise you to start that before you move on to the next stage, because that just makes you very it makes you very relaxed, and it makes your pin come faster. Because if you don't pass your IELTS then or your English language exam, then your pin is not going to come. So what's the point? Do you understand? Because what makes you get quicker job offers is if you come and you get your pin. Yeah, that's what makes it come. Okay, I think I've answered that question, which says, would I get a job immediately? Almost immediately, like I said, always follow through your application. Just always call them, always apply, and you know, hopefully you get your job immediately. So, what do I need to get a job? You don't need anything. You only need your IELTS, your CBT, your PIN, and that's all you need to get a job. And just check through. And the thing about this red list country thing is that even though you are from a red listed country, if you're applying from a country that is not under the red list country, they are going to employ you. So if you're in the UK and you're a Nigerian, that's not going to stop you from being employed. So that doesn't count when you come for your when you come from your OSCE. So just follow through with all the applications. Even it might be the applications that you've made before. Just send them emails. Oh, I made an application before, and I'm just in the UK. I've not gotten my PIN. I don't know if you are happy to invite me for an interview. They will get back to you. You understand? They will get back to you. They are not that hard to please. So I also have this question. Okay, I think I'm done with all the questions I have, except um okay. I think then preparation for OSCE, like I said, that's one of the great challenge that you might face, because you are thinking, how would I prepare for OSCE? But if you did pass your midwifery exams, I believe that OSCE is one of the things that you should be able to pass. So what I would advise strongly is to have someone who is also in the same shoes as you are. Like, if you want to write your OSCE, be with other people who are trying to pass their OSCE also. Connect with people who are trying to pass their OSCE. That way, you are able to talk to people. You're having discussion. You're having, even if the person is under a trust, trying to, they're also doing OSCE training under a trust. You can share heads together. And once you register for your OSCE exam, you have this documents that are going to send to you. So it's like a checklist. I know when I was going to school, we also had this textbook that had like a checklist for our OSCE exams. So all the stations, I know they have like 16 stations, no, like 16 alternative sections and stations, and they will test you in 10 stations actually. The first four stations, the API section is linked together. with your assessments, planning, implementation, and evaluation. Then the remaining six stations, they are going to pick randomly out of the 16 stations, like the 16 stations. They're going to pick from there to they're going to pick from there. So any of the 16 stations. So for you to plan and train for those 16 stations, what you need to do is read about the stations, read about the condition, if it's shoulder dystocia, if it is postpartum hemorrhage, if it is NIPE, head to toe examinations of baby, read in depth about that. Once you read in depth about that, go through your checklist uncountable times. Go through your checklist, see what they see the progression of things, see what they require from you. Then also check on YouTube to have an idea, even if it is nursing YouTube channel that you were watching. Because when I was preparing for my OSCE, I was watching nursing YouTube channel for OSCEs just to have a glimpse of what's happening. Do you understand? Because there were no midwifery questions or OSCE centers then. So I was reading about that. And now we have people that are training people for OSCE. So if you need information about that, you can always get back to me. Do you understand? You can always come to my DM and then we can have a discussion about that. Then what am I going to say? Once you have people that you're talking to, you're able to mark yourself like examiners. I was doing I remember that I was doing videos and then, set my phone somewhere, do video, come back and mark myself. Do you understand? So there are lots of things that you can put in place to just prepare for this exam. This exam, it wasn't made for you to fail, it was made for you to pass. So you need to believe in yourself, because what makes people fail the most is the tiniest thing that you don't even believe. Do you understand? That's what makes people fail their OSCE. And some people is out of panic, is out of fear, is out of fear of unknown. I was also scared that day. Don't even think that I wasn't scared. I was so scared because I had panic attacks on the day of my exam. So someone says, how months how many months did it take you to process your tier two visa, the period you came? So because I think they were quite confused about what type of visa I needed, because they were only dealing with people that were coming from Nigeria directly. So it took a while for my for my COS to come out, and also because the lady was going on leave and all of that. So I think I came back in April May, June, and I left the country in June. So it took me less than 3 months. So it can be faster depending on, because now most people have more information about you know going ahead uh with visa application. The HRs are more knowledgeable now because more people have been doing that. So it took me like less than 3 months. Even for my visa came out, not immediately my visa came out, that's when I traveled. I think we had to book a flight the week after or 2 weeks after, just to tie all ends together. So it took me less than 3 months to come to the UK. So do we have any other questions that we might like to ask? Okay, Emma said, please, do you recommend any classes for OSCE? Like I said, you can come to my DM and let's discuss more about that. Just because we are online, you can come to my DM and we can have a discussion about that. Yeah. Okay. Chuan said yes, you have. What do you have? Let me see what you have so that I can scrutinize it. Because if there's anything that is coming under my page, I need to know what it is and how to go around it. So if you can drop maybe a link or something, then we can follow up through with that. Or you can always come to my DM and then I will refer you to other people that I know that are doing the OSCE training. Do we have any other questions, please? So, do the trust have to sponsor your trip back to the UK? Originally, they should, like I said, make sure you just read your terms and condition for your on your contract, because they did pay for my flight for me to come back to the UK, but they did not refund me any other money. So you need to just confirm that. Yeah. So how long did it take for your pin to come out? So originally the NMC website says 35 days, but sometimes it might take longer than that. I think it took more than 35 days, just because it was COVID time, people were working from home, and then I had to follow up with them after the stated 35 days. And when I called them, I said, "Oh, I've not gotten my pin yet. What's happening? I've passed my OSCE for, I think, over 40 days now." They're like, "Oh, sorry, you should have gotten your pin. I think something went wrong." So you just need to follow up with that. Okay, someone says, for those who do not have sponsor, how do we go about the finance? Is there an estimate of how much that should be in your account? So I am not, I'm not a visa advisor, but what I know is that you need to show that you can pay for your accommodation while you're there, you can pay for your feeding while you're there, you can pay for your you can pay for every other thing while you're there. So it's just like you trying to go to school and they say this is how much you need. I don't know the exact amount that you will need, but for example, if you are coming to London, you should have at least £1,000. What I tell people, when you want to apply for your visa, you tell them that you're going to stay for 6 weeks, and they would give you a 6 month visa. Do you understand? So, so just make sure you everything that you are everything that you're doing should just be around the number of months that you said you were going to stay. So if you are going to stay for 6 months, what's your accommodation? What's the likelihood of accommodation for you to spend for 6 months? What's the likelihood of feeding that you would need to spend for 6 months? Then for 6 weeks, sorry. What's the everything that you understand? So once you just calculate that, and that's why I said use a professional, because it's the professional that will tell you that this money is enough, this money is not enough. Do you understand? And that's what I'm just going to say. Someone said, I'm coming. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to set up my Gmail. Okay. So you people can send me an email at showme o'clock. I'm just going to type that here. That's the email for showme o'clock at gmail.com. So sorry for people that have sent me emails that I've not seen. I'm so sorry about that. And okay, someone says, what if you have a sponsor over there? So what you have a sponsor over there, I think I've mentioned it in this video and in the previous videos that I've done. If you have a sponsor over there, what you need to do is to, number one, get the person's details. The person needs to write a letter of sponsorship. The person needs to, apart from writing a letter of sponsorship, the person needs to address the embassy. For example, if you're applying to in Nigeria, you address it to the Nigerian embassy. If you're applying to Ghanaian, you address it to Ghanaian embassy. The person needs to show that they are earning money, regular income, either for them to show their bank statement, like for them to give you their bank statements, or for them to send your pay slip, maybe 3 months pay slip. Then they should send a proof of address if you're going to be staying with them. So the proof of address would also maybe mean council tax for the embassy to know that these people are going to for that these people are going to accommodate you, feed you, and help you throughout this period of time. You understand? So I think that should cover up for having a sponsor there. And someone said, does this route or what taking a loan? Sincerely, I can't give that information because it depends on the type of loan you're taking, what the interest is, and how patient are they. Because mm, when you say that when you say that is it worth taking a loan, what sort of loan are you taking? If it's a loan that they will expect you to pay in 1 month, how visible it is it that you're going to get a job within that 1 month while you're still trying to write your OSCE? Do you understand? So you should just leave that to your discretion, because if it takes you, maybe let's say, if you have a loan that will say, okay, take this loan today, in 6 months time start to pay, you know that within that 6 months you're going to get a job and you would maybe start paying back. But what if the loan people are not, are not ready to take that route with you? So you have to be careful about loans so that you don't start dragging your name in the mud and all of that. But if you have a reasonable loan company or family member that would like to loan you, or colleagues that would like to loan you, there's no I'm taking loans for that. Me, I was sponsored by my family, my dad, and the job I was doing as a then, and also the person that sent me to the country for self-sponsoring. So they paid for my OSCE and they accommodated me, fed me. It was such a privilege to have someone to do that for you. So it was so easy for me. I didn't need to think of too many things. The only thing we just did was really little things, was for me to just read and pass my OSCE, so that I wasn't thinking of paying back any loan or people dragging my name or my family in the mud. I was just, you know, straight on passing my exams, and thank God I did pass it at one sitting. Another thing I would like to put out there is that sometimes you might not pass your exam in one sitting. So you should have a backup plan for if you don't pass your exam in one sitting, can you rewrite as soon as possible? Because also your visa, this thing, you can't stay in the country for more than 6 months. I would even advise you not to even stay up to 6 months, because um if you need to go back home and reapply and all of that. So just put that into consideration. Do we have any question? We are spanning up to 47 minutes now. Do you have any questions at the moment? So if you're going to send me, okay. If you're going to ask any questions, you can also ask questions. Send me an email, and I'm more than happy to answer you. And if you want us to do more of these live videos on different topics, I'm happy to schedule. It might be in a month's time, depending on what my work schedule is. But I'm more than happy to, come out here. If this live video was really helpful to you, just let me know so that we can always schedule things like this. Okay, please could you talk about the step to follow after getting a job and going back to Nigeria? What are the steps? So I'm going to write that down. Steps to take after getting a job. So it's not a big deal for what you need to do after getting a job. Once you get a job, and you inform them that you're going back to your home country, you just need a COS. I think they can't issue the COS while you're still in the country. So you need to go back to your home country, arrive, they let them know that you've arrived, and they will send you a certificate of sponsorship. So once they send you a certificate of sponsorship, you do your TB test, get your police clearance if the one you have is not cleared already, or is you just get your police clearance. I don't think you need a police clearance if you are traveling for your visiting visa. I don't think you need a police clearance, but get your police clearance, get your TB test, then book your visa date. Once you get your COS is the most important thing. Then once you book your visa biometrics, then you go for your biometrics, then you expect your visa decision. And once it's out, you let them know that your visa is out, you've been granted your visa, and then you will sort out your flight and then come back to the country. So that's it. Okay, please, can you help us with evidence-based practice and professional value station? So the thing about OSCE is that training for OSCE requires a lot of commitment, which I'm unable to give at this time, but I can't say I can help out with that. I can't really say because I can't take up that extra commitment as a now. But if I can check, I think Josephine is one of our YouTubers online, and Khadijat Adeshola. They have some, this thing. So let me write that to remind me to post the link. Post the link of Josephine, Khadijat, and Dank GH, yeah, Dank GH, yeah. Those are the people that post midwifery OSCE content on YouTube. So you can always go to their channel and explore. Then you can also send them messages. You can go through their bios and send them message to help you out with that. But at the moment, I'm not taking up any OSCE training or anything about that. Or really, they can't send you. Yes, I think they can't. It just depends on your type of visa. If you are on a dependent visa, they can't send you your COS while you're still in the UK. That's because you can extend your visa while you're in the UK. But visitors visa, I am not sure of that, because by law you can't extend your application, your visitors visa, while you're in the UK. So you have to go back and then reapply. Yeah. So the thing is, you're already in the process talking to them. So they are going to definitely send you. If they're not going to give you a COS, they're not going to give you a COS. But if they say they are going to give you a COS, you should trust them and then go back to your own country, because that's the law. That's what you should do by law. So nobody is going to invalidate that you need to go back to your own country. Yeah. So someone said, for the standard visitors visa, do you have to take TB test? I don't. No, no, no. You don't need to take TB test. I think if you're not staying longer than 6 months, you don't need to take TB test. Sorry, I just need to get a glass of water. Yeah, I don't think you need to. I don't think I did my TB test when going. Well, the thing is, if you're going to apply for visa, you see the requirements. So I don't think it's there for you to get that. So, do you have any other questions for me? Thank you so much, everyone that has joined this live video. It was such a pleasure. I'm so impressed that you people came early, because I've been sitting down in my chair like 10 minutes before, and I'm like, people need to come early. If they come early, we'll start early and we'll finish up early. So thank you so much for keeping up to time. I really look forward to having you people on, like doing more random live videos, more planned live videos, so that we can just discuss, talk about a lot of things. That migration can be a very stressful journey, especially when you're not getting an headway out yet. So it makes more sense, having to bring people together, talk to them together. I used to have support group, but at the moment I do not have time to maintain the support group. So maybe we'll be thinking of maybe moving to a support group where we can have more discussions. And then it's on Telegram, so I'm not really active on that. But it depends on how we continue to be on our YouTube channel. So that's going to determine whether we'll take it, steps further to assist you in other things. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, thanks for this live video. If you've done a verification as a nurse already, can you do an okay? Until you get your PIN as a nurse, then you can then add the additional verification to be a midwife, if you are going through that route. Or you cancel your registration as a nurse and then start as a midwife. But if you've already started as a nurse, I would just sorry, I'll just advise you to continue as a nurse. And when you get to the country, then you sort out being a midwife back. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, definitely. I'm going to respond to the email as soon as I can. And then have a lovely day. If you have any questions, we have posts on our community section on my YouTube, so you can ask any question under different comments. I'm going to see it, and then we can take it up from there. All right, guys. Thank you. Bye. Oh, I love you too. Thank you, guys.